At WalkMed, our team of medical device professionals is dedicated to providing our customers with dependable, cost-effective solutions for infusion therapy. Our focus on quality and safety starts with pumps made in the United States in our facility by our employees, and they are backed by our end-to-end product life service commitment. This is our first in a series of training videos for the WalkMed 350VL infusion pump and associated reservoir bags, administration sets, and accessories. The WalkMed 350VL pump comes packaged with a WalkMed 350VL infusion pump, a front keypad cover, a small reservoir cover for IPR 86 reservoir bags, a large reservoir cover for IPR 150 reservoir bags, the operation manual, a carrying pouch, one 9-volt battery, a clinician quick start guide, and patient quick reference cards. The WalkMed 350VL is a continuous basal rate infusion pump, which can be used with or without keep vein open or KVO infusion termination. Basal flow rate ranges include 1/10 to 19.99 milliliters per hour in a resolution of 0.01 milliliters and 0.1 to 30 milliliters per hour in a resolution of 0.1 milliliters. The pump's delivery accuracy is rated at plus or minus 5%. The available reservoir bag sizes include 65, 150, and 250 milliliters. Use only dedicated WalkMed pump tubing sets manufactured by WalkMed. Optional pump accessories include locking keypad and reservoir covers, a disposable carrying pouch, an adjustable waist belt, and a 1-liter carrying case. See products and more accessories online at www.walkmed.com or order by phone 1-800-578-0555. Next is the display screen, which shows messages describing the programming process, normal operation functions, and alarm events. The status light here blinks green, yellow, or red depending on the operating status or system alert conditions. A continuous red light in the lower of the two lights may indicate a system malfunction or that there is a system alarm needing attention. You'll find the power source here. One 9-volt alkaline battery fits in this compartment. We will cover installation and removal of the battery in another video. The pumping chamber is the mechanical area here, where the 350VL's linear peristaltic pump pushes on the tubing to deliver medications to the patient. The clamp bar secures the elastic segment of the tubing in the pumping chamber. When closing the clamp door, be sure that the tubing is not twisted and that the spring lock mechanism clicks into place, securing the clamp bar in the closed position. Press the spring lock here to open the pump and remove the administration set. The clamp bar pin locks it securely in place. This front cover protects the control keypad during pump use and storage. A reservoir cover holds and protects the reservoir bag in place during use. The power source is one 9-volt alkaline battery. Approved brands of batteries include Duracell model MN1604, Medline model MPHB or equivalent. Typical battery capacity for the pump runs from about half a day for 500 milliliters at 30 milliliters per hour to about 2.5 days for 650 milliliters at 10 milliliters per hour, or about 18.5 days for 450 milliliters at 1 milliliter per hour. Let's review the pump signals. The pump provides visual and audible information during normal operation and in the event of system problems. The pump communicates this information with 3 types of signals. First, the front panel display screen shows messages describing normal operating functions and alarms. Second, there are 2 lights located on the pump's front panel. Depending on the operating function or alarm being signaled, the light may blink green, yellow, or red. The light comes on in a continuous red when a system malfunction occurs. Third, the pump emits beeping tones singularly, continually, or in various patterns, depending on the operating function or alarm that's being signaled. The different types of alerts include low battery, not delivering, clamp bar open, occlusion, end of infusion, and KVO, total volume limit reached. The different types of alarms include under delivery, over-delivery, system malfunction, and depleted battery. Let's review how to operate the pump's covers. To attach the front cover, orient the cover so that the frosted area is over the battery. Insert the top of the cover into the groove at the top of the pump. Push on the cover tabs at the bottom to snap it securely into the latch. To remove the front cover, pull back the latch using your finger. The cover will separate completely from the pump. To insert a battery, match the terminals on the battery to the terminals in the battery compartment. Push the battery up to snap it into place. To remove the battery, place your thumb on top of the battery and push down and away from the terminals. Once the battery is disconnected, lift the battery out of the battery compartment. Be sure to wait at least 30 seconds between removing the battery and installing a new one to allow the pump to turn on properly. To open the reservoir cover, install the keypad cover and place the pump face down. Place your fingers on the top of the reservoir cover and pull back on the reservoir cover latch. Open the reservoir cover by lifting up with your thumb. To close the reservoir cover, push the reservoir cover shut until the latch snaps onto the front cover tab. Be sure to check to make sure the reservoir bag and tubing are not pinched by the closed cover. To remove the reservoir cover, slide the hinge release in toward the middle of the pump to retract the pin. When the pin is fully retracted, the cover is released and can be removed. To prepare the reservoir and tubing set for installation in the pump, start by removing the pump's front cover. Open the reservoir cover so that the cover and pump lay flat on your work surface. Place the reservoir bag in the cover so that the tubing extends into the tubing set path on the right side of the pump. Leaving the reservoir cover in place, move the pump back onto the cover. Push down until the cover snaps onto the pump. Open the clamp bar by pulling back on it. Release the bottom front of the pump and move the clamp bar up and to the left. Insert the elastic tubing segment into the pumping chamber and the pressure cell into the pressure cell seat to the left of the chamber, with the pressure cell tab pointing out. Close the clamp bar so that it locks fully with an audible click. Closing the clamp bar places the elastic tubing segment in contact with the pumping mechanism. To ensure proper medication delivery, always close the clamp bar until it fully engages the lock pin with an audible click. Verify proper closing by pulling up firmly on the end of the clamp bar with your thumb or index finger. It's important to remember that the front cover should be reattached after the pump is prepared for use and medication delivery started. First, let's review the pump's control keypad. The power button turns the pump on or off. The start button starts delivery of medication. The stop button halts delivery of medication. The prime button enters the pump into prime mode. The value buttons are used to lock, unlock the pump and set therapy values. The status light indicates system alerts. The malfunction light indicates system alarms. And now our technician will walk you through the programming of the pump. Each time the pump power is turned on, information will display automatically, scrolling to the screen and putting the pump into idle. Once this sequence is complete, press the Enter key to enter the programming screen for the basal rate. Pressing the Enter key will then cycle through the programmable screens in the following order: volume delivered, total volume limit, lock or unlock. The Enter key will then cycle back to the basal rate programming screen. Proceed to the lock and unlock screen and verify that the pump is unlocked. This will show as ULC on the screen. If the device is locked, it will display LOC, and values cannot be changed under any of the programming screens, nor will the prime function work. Press any value key and the pump will display all zeros. Press each value key to increase the number until the access code appears. The access code can only be found in the operator's manual. To order an operator's manual, an approved medical professional or facility can call 800-578-0555 to request WalkMed part number 204878. Once the access code appears on the screen, press the Enter key. The pump will momentarily display the lock-unlock mode and advance to the basal flow rate screen. If the wrong access code is entered, 2 beeps will sound and the pump display will return to the lock-unlock screen. The volume delivered screen tracks the infused volume. It is imperative to reset the volume delivered counter to 0 between therapies, otherwise treatment will result in terminated or under infusions if the total volume limit feature is in use. To reset the basal flow rate to 0, press 2 value keys together. You can change the decimal point position by pressing any 2 value keys together a second time. However, the pump must first be 0 to change the decimal point position. If a value is already programmed, the 2 value keys must be pressed together twice, clearing the programming and then moving the decimal point. The volume delivered screen tracks the total volume of fluid that has been delivered. The total volume delivered display has a range of 0 to 1,999 milliliters of resolution. After reaching 1,999, the volume delivered display will restart at 0 milliliters. To set the amount of fluid to be infused, use the total volume limit screen. The total volume limit is 1 to 1,999 milliliters of resolution. Lastly, the lock-unlock screen indicates the status. The pump must be in the unlocked mode to perform any programming functions. Now let's review the programming process. The pump is programmable in 2 ranges. 0.1 to 19.99 milliliters per hour can be programmed to 2 decimal points. And 0.1 to 30 milliliters per hour can be programmed to 1 decimal point. The pump cannot be set to less than 0.1 milliliter per hour. Press Enter to cycle the programming loop. Press Enter again to save the setting and advance to the next programming screen. Once on the basal rate programming screen, press the value key to change the corresponding value. Press each value key to increase the value located above that key until the desired basal flow rate is displayed. To reset the display, press any 2 value keys together. To move the decimal point, press any 2 value keys together when the flow rate reads 0. Here's an example. The basal flow rate is 3.75 milliliters per hour, but it needs to be 4.75. To change it, press the key under the 3 until number 4 comes up. If an error occurs, press the Stop Undo key to undo any entry. When the information is correct, press the Enter key to accept the new setting and move to the volume delivered display screen. We recommend that the clinician scroll through all the program settings to verify that the pump is programmed properly and meets the desired regimen. The idle screen tells you that the pump is not in the delivery or programming modes. Remember, when programming the pump, do not use sharp objects to depress the control keys on the keypad. The total volume limit function sets a limit for the amount of drug to be infused, followed by a 4-hour KVO infusion at the end of the program delivery. The KVO delivery rate varies based on the programmed infusion rate. The total volume limit function can be disabled. The pump is programmable from 1 to 1,999 milliliters. To change the total volume limit, press each value key to increase the number located above that key until the desired total volume limit is displayed. Each press will beep and advance the number by 1. Here's an example. If the total volume limit is set at 240 milliliters and the new total volume limit desired is 270, press the value key under the 4 until the number 7 displays. Conversely, if the device is set to 270 and a lower value is desired, press any two value keys together to clear the current programmed value till the off display appears. The value key can then be used to program the new value. Let's show another example. If the total volume limit is set to 270 milliliters and a new total volume limit of 110 milliliters is desired, just press any two value keys together and the device will display the word off. Then press the left value key once and the middle value key once. Press the stop undo key to undo any entry prior to pressing the key. Press Enter to accept the new setting and move to the Lock Unlocked display screen. To set the total volume limit to off, press any two value keys together. Now let's review the prime tubing set warning. Remember, do not engage the prime function while the pump is connected to a patient. The prime function is accessed from the program mode and it cannot be activated while the pump is locked. Open the slide clamp on the tubing below the pressure cell. Press the prime key and the display will change to the prime screen. Press Start and the pump will start to prime the tubing until 0.6 milliliters are delivered. Repeat pressing the prime key as needed to prime the tubing set. Remember, the Start key must be pressed within 7 seconds of entering the prime screen or the display will change back to the basal rate flow screen. To stop the prime function at any time, press the Stop Undo key. The display will change to the basal flow rate programming screen. If the pump alert displays OCC due to any occlusion, press the Stop Undo key to silence the alarm, then clear the occlusion. Then repeat the prime instructions. Using the Enter key, return to the Unlock Lock screen. Re-enter the code using the value buttons, then press the Enter key. The pump will momentarily display the Lock LOC mode and advance to the basal flow rate screen. If the wrong access code is entered, 2 beeps will sound and the pump display will return to the Lock Unlock screen. To start delivery of medication, connect the primed tubing set to the patient's IV access device. Open the clamp, then press the Start key and medication delivery will begin. During delivery, the status light will start blinking green. The pump display will read DEL in the upper right corner and it will alternate between the programmed delivery rate and the volume delivered screens. Attach the front cover to the pump. For the patient's convenience and to protect the pump during use, place it in the carrying pouch. Also, check for the following: that the pump light blinks green, that the pump display screen reads DEL and alternates between the programmed delivery rate and volume delivered screen. Check that the reservoir bag is emptying, that there are no leaks in the tubing, that only small air bubbles in the bag administration are present, and check that the tubing is not kinked or pinched. Note that during delivery, the prime, enter, and value keys will be inactive. We recommend that prior to pressing enter, you scroll through all the program settings to verify that the pump is programmed properly and meets the desired regimen. To stop delivery, press the Stop Undo key. This places the pump in idle mode and the pump does not deliver. The pump will remain idle until further action is taken. After several minutes in idle, the device will begin displaying a blinking yellow light and emit a low beep. If the pump is programmed to the total volume limit, it will beep 3 times and the status light will blink yellow when the total volume limit is reached. Then the pump will enter the KVO portion of the program. The rate of KVO is dependent on the program rate of infusion. If you are using the total volume limit function, the KVO rates can be found in the owner's manual. The pump will infuse at these rates for approximately 4 hours beyond the initial programmed infusion. The display will scroll through the following 3 screens: End, Value of Delivery Rate, Value of Delivered Volume. To stop delivery, press the Stop Undo key. This places the pump in idle mode. If you press the Start button, the infusion will continue until the 4 hours KVO period has completed. To discontinue using the pump, stop medication delivery. Then, close the slide clamp on the extension tubing below the pressure cell. Turn the pump power off by pressing the power key. Next, open the clamp bar and remove the reservoir tubing set from the pump. Dispose of the reservoir tubing set according to your facility's policies and procedures and in accordance with applicable environmental regulations. Remove the battery, clean the pump, and finally reattach the front cover. The WalkMed 350VL pump does not have an air in-line detection alarm. We highly recommend that you visually inspect the pump periodically for the presence of excess air in the infusion lines during use. Before starting medication, check to make sure that the reservoir bag and tubing are not pinched by the closed cover. Examine the fluid pathway connections for damage or leaks. Leakage may cause blood or fluid precipitation or loss. Continue to observe for leaks while the pump is in use. Before starting medication delivery, check to ensure that the programmed infusion settings are appropriate for the selected application. When using the prime function, the pump infusion rate is equal to or greater than 30 milliliters per hour. Therefore, using the pump in the prime function while it's connected to a patient may cause overinfusion of medications. Always clamp the tubing between the WalkMed 350VL pump and the patient's access device before opening the pump clamp bar. Uncontrolled fluid flow can occur when the administration set is not clamped before opening the clamp bar or is not properly installed in or removed from the pump. Uncontrolled fluid flow may cause overinfusion of medications to the patient. A security code may be keyed in to lock the WalkMed 350VL pump's infusion programming function. This code is designed to allow only the clinician to have programming access. Security codes must never be provided to the patient. If a patient tampers with programmed settings, it may cause overinfusion or underinfusion of medications. Between uses, check the clamp bar for excessive wear. Worn-out clamp bars may result in underinfusions or no infusion if the proper occlusion pressures are not achieved. Also check the spring lock for physical damage. Damaged spring locks may lead to backflow or underinfusion or no infusion of the medication. Again, make sure your pump is within its annual preventative maintenance period. What should you do if there's a problem during therapy? First, press the stop key to temporarily silence alarms that may be sounding. Next, take corrective action as described in the problem-solving table in the operator's manual. Sometimes removing the battery may help reset an alarm. If you do remove the battery, wait at least 30 seconds between removing battery and reinstalling it or installing a new battery to allow the pump to turn on properly. If you cannot correct the problem using the problem-solving table, then write down the message shown on the pump display screen. Also record any other pertinent information such as the programmed rate, volume of drug to be delivered, start time of the therapy, everything that may help troubleshoot a repair. Describe the problem in as much detail as possible. Also record what steps you may have taken to try to correct the problem and note the serial number of the pump. Contact your pump supplier for service assistance. Refer all service to an authorized WalkMed service center. Do not attempt to disassemble or repair the WalkMed 350VL pump. If the problem cannot be resolved, you will be assigned a Return Goods Authorization or RGA number, then return the pump to your service center. If you need to order an operator's manual, part number 204878, it can be ordered through WalkMed or its distributors. For cleaning and storage instructions, refer to the operator's manual. Always make sure that the pump has its annual preventative maintenance. Not having the maintenance performed may result in the pump not meeting specification requirements.